Yo, what's up everyone? This is Valoramous. In today's DJ tutorial, I'm going to discuss how to connect your cell phone to your DDJ-1000, how to transmit audio from your cell phone through your DDJ-1000 and then to the sound system. But before we begin and before I actually show you this trick, I want to relay a little story that happened to me during a live public DJ gig. Now, at the time, I was playing with a different controller. It was the DDJ-1000. It was a much older model. And I only had 2 tracks, and the nightmare scenario happened at peak hour around 12:30 in the morning, usually when these bars and clubs are at their peak hour. One of the faders of this older controller snapped and broke, and then at that point I was basically fighting with one hand behind my back. I only had 1 track that I could play songs. Now at the time I did not exactly know this trick, and maybe on that system I would not be able to do this, but on the DDJ-1000 you absolutely can use this trick to save yourself. And so I actually would recommend you have this connected at all times in case the nightmare scenario happens. And there has actually been known to be mistakes in certain bars and clubs where I've heard reports of some DJs showing up and there's only 1 CDJ and the show at that point must go on if you're the book DJ. And how you escape that situation is you connect a tablet device, a smartphone or an iPad, and then you transmit audio to the mixer from this second device if you don't have another CDJ. So if you run into this mistake, this trick can actually save you. Another situation where this may help you is if you receive that random request you are not ready to field. Especially if this is a VIP group and the bar or club owner or manager has instructed you to cater to these clients and you don't have their music, well, having your smartphone, having your device there on standby, this can actually help you. So how you connect your smartphone on the DDJ-1000 is at the top of these channels, you have 3 settings. You have USB-A, you have phono/line, and then you have USB-B. All these channels. And so that is how you will transmit your audio to your sound system. Now on all the tracks you have RCA inputs back here. So what you will need is you will need an RCA cable that's with the red and the white, and then on the other end you need that 3.5 millimeter jack. 3.5 millimeter or 1/8 inch. This can connect to your smartphone if you have an older smartphone or maybe you have an iPad, but you'll need something to connect to a device. So I'm going to get my smartphone, which is an older smartphone. I'm going to show you how this works. But how you set this is, I like to use it on deck 3 because I'm stronger as a scratcher on the right side. That way I have both channel 2 and channel 4 that I can use. Channel 1 I can use as well too through USB-A, which again is connected from my Recordbox DJ software from the music and transmitted to this hardware. And then on deck 3 or channel 3, that's where I have the phono line setting at the top, and then that's when you have this RCA cable with a 3.5 millimeter jack or 1/8 inch connected to some sort of a device. Okay, so this is an older iPhone. I'm going to connect this device through the port. This is the headphone jack, and now I'm going to play one of my songs. So I'm going to play Valoramous, the safety word, Amnesia, the Valoramous Festival mix. You'll hear this. This is channel 3. It's playing on my smartphone from the phono line input. So this is how you save yourself. It's all about having contingencies, redundancies in place, backup plans, but you need to think through these errors because as a DJ, you're responsible for the sound. And if the sound is jacked up, you basically get blamed. And so having these contingencies in place, knowing what to do, will help you stay calm in the moment, cool and collected under pressure, and then you can have the appropriate treatment. Now when this happened to me, this story, when I only had 1 track playing, I remained calm, cool, and collected. And how I managed to get through the night is I basically just played bangers the entire rest of the night. And I had to play tracks from start to finish, or wait until a break, and then I had to hit stop, have the next track already queued up, load that track, and then immediately hit play. And as soon as I hit play, I knew that the entire audience had to know that track. That way they could immediately start singing, dancing, and getting into it. So you can imagine as a DJ which banger tracks that I needed to play the entire rest of the night. Now that gig was not fun at all because I still had to manage about another hour and a half to 2 hours that gig, but I managed to survive that gig without too much loss of reputation or mistakes. In fact, most of the audience didn't even know or didn't care because at that hour usually people have had a few alcoholic beverages, and at that point they don't really care as long as you're giving them the songs, the tracks that they like. And in my opinion, as a DJ, the number one mark of a great DJ is track selection, so playing the right song at the right time. And so if you can do that and just deliver those bangers at critical moments such as peak hour, you're going to be all right as a DJ. Your transitions are really secondary at that point, but your transitions do help when they add to the flavor of overall mix. Okay, so in conclusion, contingencies and redundancies will help you, and my contingency or redundancy is to have a RCA through the phono line setting on a spare or separate track, which for me is track 3, that will connect to a smartphone or a device, and then at that point I can either handle random requests or that is my backup. And if it's my backup, then I know how to execute this technique. So again, know your equipment, know the treatment, know your response measures, and you're going to be all right. So if you like this content, like to see more, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
A resting place from a fool's disgrace in carousels with lots of bells. Antarctica, where secrets are awaken our minds. An ancient space, we take a place to travel through a cosmic gate and elevate a sacred name to conjure up chimes.